Why can't I take his drill? Bad gun.
Hello.
Oh! Wait, stand back. Oh, I know how to deal with this. Behold!
You didn't light it. Oh my god.
Good evening, gamers. This is Sons of the Forest, a survival horror video game developed by End Night Games and sequel to famous video game The Forest. This title has recently come out of early access. And is now considered a full release. So I've took it upon myself to play through the entire game and share my thoughts with all of you. Now you may be wondering why I said it's considered a full release instead of saying it's now fully released. Well, so first things first, let's start with the story of the game. So you start off as a man from a private militia, and you're going to a deserted island, deserted in quote marks, to look for a very rich man, Mr. B, and his beautiful wife and daughter. Now, what you don't know on this island is that there are very strange happenings going on. First of all, island is infested with cannibals. Why would rich people go there in the first place? Second of all, well, you'll go into a cave and you will find just the weirdest looking fellas around. Like, it is insane. Now, without getting too spoilery, would I consider the story good? No. The shit sucks. It is way too... It goes way too fast. Pacing is awful. The characters suck. They're like no... It makes you want to care about the characters, but they're nothing. They are wet blankets of people. Everything that they could have been was squeezed out of them. Now, I don't want to be too negative on the story, so I will list the best thing I think about the story, and that is the mystery aspect of it. So when you're going across the island, you'll come across notes and stuff that will be very vague and will intrigue you to try and figure out more about the mystery of the island and why these rich people were going there in the first place, and why there's all these cannibals and mutants just scattered across it. However, the mystery aspect is just not enough for this game. As the saying goes, you can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it is still a turd. I'm sorry, the story in this game is just... it's just not it, Chief. Not it. But wait, I hear you asking. What about the gameplay? This is a video game after all. Gotta speak about the gameplay. Well, it's actually not that bad. I don't mind it. You know, base building aspect of the game, it's pretty good. It's very well detailed. Crafting is really good. The graphics, it looks amazing. Well, player models maybe not so much, but the environment looks fantastic. But I have a gripe with the gameplay, and that is the base building aspect. It's completely fine on its own. It's actually really good, and it's really in depth, but because the story is paced so badly, and like no joke, you can finish this game if you just speed ran the story. You could finish it in like 6 hours or less. Definitely less. Like, it completely negates the purpose of having a base in the first place. Because you'd think, oh, I need to survive the nights. I need to build my base so I don't get killed by these cannibals and mutants that are just crawling around the island. But no, the game just... It sucks. Alright, I might be being a bit harsh, but that is my like biggest criticism of the game, is like the base building aspect, because there's virtually no point, and I don't want to spoil, but like you would think you need to build a base so you can put together your resources and get ready for the final boss of the game so that you can like be prepared and fight it with all your might. But no, before you fight the final boss, the game literally gives you everything you need to completely destroy the final boss and just wipe him out. There's no point. I don't understand what they were thinking. Like, sure, if it was still in early access, I wouldn't be this hard, but it is fully released. It is a fully released video game, and it does that sort of stuff. There is no point in even, like, exploring the island because of it. I don't understand what they were thinking. And speaking of the final boss, and going back to the story a bit, it just feels like a complete waste of time. The end of the game, like, again, I don't want to spoil, but it is not worth it. It is just like, oh, it's just such a waste of time. Now, besides the lackluster story and end of the game and a boss fight, I mean, Kelvin, pretty funny. I like Kelvin. He's funny. I like him. Kelvin is your NPC helper in the game, but I mean, if you have friends, he's kind of worthless. But I mean, he's a fun addition. He's fine. I like Kelvin. He's cool. He's chill. And speaking of playing with friends, I don't want to be this negative on a game, but that is the only way I can recommend people play this, because if you play this by yourself, you would just feel like you wasted like 12 hours of your life. I played it with friends, and me personally, I probably would have never picked up this game if it didn't have the multiplayer. So yeah, that should explain a lot to you guys. Now, just on the gameplay side of things, I just want to touch on the glitches and bugs. And for this game, surprisingly, it actually doesn't have that much. I mean, it still has a like fair amount of glitches, I'm sure, but nothing really game breaking, or like nothing that'll get under your skin. It's just really just goofy glitches, basically.
Oh my god, listen to the song I'm listening to. You are my special.
So, we are now at the end of the review. I'm sure all of you know what my final thoughts are going to be, but this game, I mean, it can be for some people, but it was not for me, and I can't recommend it. I can't. I'm sorry to say, but Sons of the Forest, it still feels undercooked. It still feels like it's in early access, and like there is a million things that the developers can do to improve the game that would make it so much better. Like just lock some story stuff, put it behind like like you have to wait a certain amount of days to unlock some story stuff. Like that alone would make it make sense for why you need to have a base, why you need to like settle down and not explore the entire island and just force your way through the entire game. Like that alone, just that one change. But they I don't know how they overlooked that. I don't know. It's just it's frustrating, because the first one, yeah, I'd probably say the first one's better than this. Which is hard to say, but it's definitely true, because the first one, you know, it didn't have map markers. It didn't show you exactly where to go at all times. You had to actually explore and figure out stuff. And building a base in that game, it made sense, because like you didn't know where everything was, so you needed a place to bunker down and survive through the nights. But this game, it's just, it boils my blood thinking about it. So I'm giving this game a big fat no recommend. You maybe if you have friends and you want like a fun co-op game to play, I guess, but that is the only way I can recommend it. Yeah, Sons of the Forest should have been better, man. Should have been better. Feels bad, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me. See ya.